What is up, everyone? My name is Gerald Masalanang and I'm from DIT21. And today, I'm gonna teach you how you can set up your operating system using a virtual machine. And today, I'm actually gonna teach you Ubuntu operating system. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's go. Now let's start setting up our Ubuntu operating system in our virtual machine. So today I'm gonna use Oracle Virtualbox Manager. Let's start. So click this new, and then we need to set the name. Ubuntu. Then we're gonna choose our ISO file. Next, let's set up the password and the username. Now, this is one of the crucial part of our video because we need to set up the right amount of base memory and the processor for our operating system. So if we actually exceed to the to our device can handle, it may actually cause some problems. So we need to set up the right base memory size and the right processors for our operating system. So I'm actually gonna pick two processor for this, and then I'm good to this 2048 MB. Or actually, I can make this higher up, more higher. 6 there. Now, once you're done, setting this up, you can click finish, and then it will start powering up the Ubuntu operating system. So let's wait for that. Now we have the Ubuntu operating system. Now we're just gonna click install, and then we're gonna wait. Now here we have our Ubuntu operating system, and it should start to set up our Ubuntu. Now that's how you can set up your virtual machine and install a Ubuntu operating system. Now I'm gonna show you how you can adjust the RAM, the disk size, and some other stuff that you need to learn to continue doing this virtual machine stuff. So let's do it. So first, I'm gonna teach you how you can adjust the RAM size of your operating system. So um, before we can adjust our RAM, we need to actually turn off our operating system in this virtual machine. So you just click X, and then you just power off this machine. Now it's powered off. Now to adjust the RAM size, you need to go here in the settings, and then here in the system, you can find this base memory, and here you can adjust the size of your base memory. So it is important to consider the strong or the specification of your device before you go more than high up into this base memory thing, because if actually your device cannot handle the virtual machine size, it may cause some problems. So here's you can adjust your base memory. If you want to adjust your CPU size, here you can adjust here in two. So I'm just gonna stay here in the one and two CPU, and then I'm gonna adjust this into 8,500 megabytes, and then yeah, that's it. Now, after learning to adjust your RAM and adjust your disk size, I'm gonna teach you how you can adjust or enable or disable your network ports. So you just go to this network tab, and then you can enable um, it by checking the yes, or enable it by just checking the yes. So as you can see, it's grayed. That means the port is enabled. So if you want to enable it again, you just click this, and then if you want to change the um, authority, you can use this NAT bridge adapter, internal network, host only adapter, and so many stops are in here. So this is actually on default here in the NAT. So that's it. So if you want to turn on your operating system again, just click start, and the virtual machine will power this thing up again. So as you can see, here we go again. That's how you can install virtual machine and install operating system Ubuntu in your virtual machines. Now, let's talk about some issues that we face while setting up this VMware. One of the problems that we face is setting up the RAM, setting up the disk of our operating system. So why? Actually, setting up our virtual machines, RAM or disk is one of the hardest thing to do here, because if you actually exceed your specification that your device can handle, it may cause some problems like your fail in your virtual machines, and fail to run your virtual machines, and it may cause also the problems to your devices. So how can we address this problem? So first things first, we can address this problem by simply knowing the right specifications that we need if we're setting up this virtual machine. So how can we do that? We need to first check the specification of our device. So checking the specification of our device is very important, because we will know how much or how big the specification of our virtual machines can handle. So now that we know our specification of our device, we can now set up the right amount of specification to our virtual machines. Now that is my solution. Now, why is it important to learn virtual machines nowadays? Learning virtual machines nowadays is very important, because practicing virtual machines can actually avoid you from more risk, because if you do simulations, doing simulations in a real device can actually be so risky, because it can give you some viruses, it can give you some technical issues that you might face using a device. So using virtual machines as your way of simulation, it can actually save your device from viruses and other risks that might cause danger to your devices. And it's actually one of the knowledge that IT companies that prefer to a IT employee nowadays. So that's it for me, everyone. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.